We are now less than a week away from Election Day.
And this morning we are taking a look at the race for Attorney General. Democrat Kwame Raoul is seeking a second term after first being elected in 2018. He is facing a challenge from Republican Tom DeVore, an attorney from Southern Illinois who made a name for himself challenging COVID-related mandates during the pandemic. DeVore has also criticized the state's Safety Act, which would eliminate cash bail starting January 1st.
We spoke to his opponent last hour, and now Tom DeVore joins us live to discuss the upcoming election. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let's start right with that Safety Act. You have called it unconstitutional, this no elimination of cash bail as of January 1st. There's a lawsuit by more than half the state's attorney, the Illinois state's attorneys about this law. Kwame Raoul himself and the governor have both said that it might need some revising. What do you see happening as far as this being changed at all before January 1st, if anything?
Well, it can't be revised. If you talk to the state's attorneys who have brought this action, many of them Democrats, and I actually agree with them, the law is unconstitutional in such a manner as that trailer bills can't fix it. The only way you can address it is to repeal it in its totality, either by legislative or judicial action. And then if there are parts of it that want to be resurrected and actually brought individually within the legislature, that's possible, probably necessary, but you can't create trailer bills to fix this law that in its totality is unconstitutional.
Do you concede that some people without resources are being held unfairly and there was a reason this was enacted in the first place?
Well, you know, that's a fiction that I think if you really thought it through, you would realize is not the case. The issue with the cash bond component of bail is used when a judge comes to the determination that letting someone out based on their promise alone is not, safe for the public. And so a bond is set to incentivize compliance with those conditions. If you remove, as the Safety Act would, the cash bond component, what that leaves the judge with is only one other option when they're not satisfied that the promise alone is enough. And that's just to detain that person without offering any bond whatsoever. So to suggest that those without resources are merely going to be let out from the judge because they don't have to post a bond is a complete mischaracterization. What the judge is going to do is just hold them without having to even offer them a bond to keep them in jail, which again has some constitutional implications for that person accused of a crime. Nobody talks about that. But with all due respect to the people using that as a red herring, it's not going to result in the release of people who can't afford bond. It's going to cause them to actually stay in jail without even having the opportunity to get out.
You've been highly critical of your opponent, saying he is dedicated to protecting the political class of Illinois. So what would you prioritize should you be elected?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join those 60 states attorneys, and we're going to repeal the Safety Act in its totality. That's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is insist that whoever the governor of this state is, Democrat or Republican, that they quit issuing executive mandates ruling over our people in a way that our foundational principles aren't supposed to allow. And the legislature is going to have to get busy crafting policies if they're necessary to keep us safe. But the mandates are going to be gone, and the Safety Act is going to be gone.
Moving forward, the Attorney General's office could play a role in protecting women from out of state who choose to come to Illinois for an abortion. So where do you stand on those protections?
I stand on what the Illinois General Assembly says. See, that's the issue between me and Mr. Raoul. He uses that office as a social justice platform. I use it to enforce the law. So if our legislature passes laws that protect those rights, then I will protect that law. That's up to our legislature to fix those issues, to address those issues, not for the Attorney General. It's completely inappropriate to engage in social policy engineering from the Attorney General's office.
All right, Tom DeVore, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much.